Welcome back to New Rockstars. It's me, MT, and the Thor Love and Thunder trailer shows us an original recipe Thor getting back into a shape that reflects his improving mental health following his intense battle with depression in Avengers Endgame. And after Thanos almost found out if Thor was secretly a birthday cake towards the end of Avengers Endgame, the Odinson knows that he needs to be in top physical form to battle the bloody blight that is Gorr the God Butcher. But hold on now, I'm no gym expert, but those chains don't seem like they were originally meant to be used to burn calories. Just who was this wumbo-sized skeleton that was imprisoned pre-Thor workout? Could this skeleton actually be teasing more of Marvel Phase 4's multiverse plans to come? Well, we are the speculation nation, are we not? So let's speculate, my nerd babies. And before I continue, make sure to hit up newrockstarsmerch.com so that you can pick up our latest obsession shirt, Tomb of the Moon God. And this shirt is selling out very quickly, so please head on over to newrockstarsmerch.com because the shirt is not going to last forever. Pick it up today or just anything else we have because we have a lot of cool nerd shit. Now, let's take a look at the remains of this poor person of preposterous proportions because this is a weird looking skeleton, no? I mean, well, other than the fact that they used to be the size of your average Chuck E. Cheese location. But the thing that's really weird to me is the skull, because look at the shape of this thing. That is one wildly extra bulbous dome. But another obvious but very important thing to note here is that, well, this giant ass person was a giant ass prisoner at the moment of his death. But why? And for what reason? Well, as you might already know by now, that earlier on in the trailer, we get this shot of Korg and Thor standing at a cliff looking at the remains of a giant kaiju of a god named Thalagar, which was ripped straight out of the pages of Jason Aaron's 2012 run of Thor, God of Thunder, the very same run that introduces Gorr the God Butcher to the Marvel Universe as an absolute savage of a beast who apparently can kill the freaking beastly patron god of the galactic frontier, a cosmic serial killer unlike anything the pantheons of the universe have seen before. And it's also during that run that we learn that Gorr the God Butcher spent thousands of years not just butchering gods, but also torturing and interrogating the gods, with a prime example being how he chained up a poor young version of Thor in Thor God of Thunder issue 4, while trying to get him to betray his kingdom by giving up super important Asgardian secrets like, I don't know, the location of Asgard, who his daddy is, and what does he do? Now, the reason why I'm saying all this is because, to me, the most likely person that used to own the skeletal remains of an NBA All-Star of a prisoner is none other than a Watcher. Yes, Marvel's favorite cosmic stalkers with enlarged Gerber baby heads. You know, Uatu's people. Because, as we know from the Marvel Comics, as well as their first live-action appearance during Stan Lee's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 cameo, Uatu is not the only Watcher in the Marvel Universe. They actually are a super evolved race of people that originally hail from the planet T-37X in the comics. And you guys might be saying right now, alright MT, sure, the melons of the Guardians 2 Watchers are indeed massive and weird looking, but they're not that massive. That dude was huge! Like, that big ass prisoner could probably hold 2 of those Watchers from Guardians 2 in each hand and eat them like candy bars. However, much like the Marvel Comics and Uatu the Watcher from What If, the Watchers have historically been able to manipulate their size. So technically, there really isn't an average size of a Watcher, especially because if you think about it, the Watchers have to watch on so many different levels of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with even the microscopic quantum realm being within the purview of Uatu, the peepin' creeper of a Watcher. So if a Watcher were to be murdered, their corpse could literally be found at any size, which is what I believe happened here, after Gorr the God Butcher chained up one of the live-action MCU's universe's Watchers for the express purpose of extracting information out of them with the cruelest of torturing techniques that Gorr told a tortured Thor made even a god of torture tell Gorr where his own kids were hiding one time. Like, that is some hardcore shit. The god of torture sold out his own kids. Now, traditional banks have drawbacks, $35 overdraft fees, bad customer service, no cash back on debit purchases. What the heck's up with that? Albert is completely different from any bank account you've ever used, because Albert is free to sign up for and super easy to use. Check out the Albert card. When you get paid onto your Albert card, Albert can get your paycheck to your card up to 2 days early. Exact timing depends on your employer's payment schedule. And Albert also doesn't charge overdraft fees ever. They let you advance up to $250 from your next paycheck and pay it back with no interest and no credit check. Managing your personal finances can be hard and stressful. Albert has a team of financial experts they call geniuses that will look into your situation and help you make a plan and answer any questions if you get stuck. They have an easy to use app interface and lots of great tools to help you save money. So click the link in the description box below or go to albert.com/rockstars to download the Albert app today. That's albert.com/rockstars. And for a limited time when you open a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit, you'll get $150. In my opinion, the Watchers would be a very high priority on Gorr the God Butcher's kill list for two obvious reasons. First, of course, being that they're the Watchers, and Gorr's beef with the gods is that they all just sat by and watched as his mother, his son, and his pregnant wife all died from the terribly horrific conditions of his home planet. So this Gorr the God Butcher dude is going to have a huge beef with this race of silent observers whose stupid oath of non-interference have led to the sufferings of so many mortals across the universe who just needed a simple helping hand. And secondly, much like Gorr tortured Thor for the location of Asgard in the comics, Gorr the God Butcher highly likely could have tortured a Watcher for the location of the other Watchers in the universe, so that he could lay waste to their entire kind, which is something I can very much see being the case considering how hard it is to find even one Watcher to begin with. And if all of his people are gone, this also allows Uatu the Watcher to have an even more important role in the MCU if he's now the last of his overly observant kind. And this would all also make sense considering the corpse of the god Thalagar that we see earlier on in the trailer. Because at the beginning of that Thor God of Thunder comic run with Gorr, Thor keeps coming across the corpses of dead gods, which is what causes Thor to first realize that there is a serial killing heathen that is bringing that unholy heat to a Heliopolis near you. So, due to the massive amounts of inspiration this movie looks like it's taking from its original comic run, the presence of this giant corpse is likely hinting at a dead godlike being like Thalagar. And the Watchers are the biggest fit, because check out the side-by-side of this dead Watcher from the comics and this dead skeleton. I think their skulls match pretty well. However, the Watchers are not the only big giants in the MCU that could potentially fit this size profile, because I would be remiss if I did not mention the hard-working dwarves of Nidavellir, as they are very much the only other giants in the MCU that aren't frosty or spicy flavored giants. And considering that Eitri did reveal to us all that Thanos wiped out all of the dwarves after forcing them to make his magic mitten, this could be one of those dwarves that Thanos killed during his Thanos quest of self-actualization. However, considering how different this environment looks in the trailer to that of the Dwarf Forge world, I'm more keen to lean on the Watchers being the owners of one of these skeletons, because dwarves don't really have that godlike status that powerful entities like the Asgardians, the Ennead, the Wu-Tang Clan, or the Celestials do. So I'm thinking that was probably a Watcher, and that makes sense considering the Watchers are going to play a big part moving forward in the MCU, so it makes sense for Marvel Studios to start leaving little teases about the history of the Watchers in the MCU. But what's also scary here is that in that same comic run, Gorr tries to make something called a god bomb, and he tortures people to try to find the people who know how to make it. So maybe he's using the Watchers to try to find out how to make a god bomb and destroy all the gods in the universe. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this skeleton could be a Watcher, or do you think it could be somebody else? Let us know in the comment section below. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can follow me at MasterTainment on Twitter if you want to see me tweet some really weird shit and really interesting theories. But more importantly, you can follow New Rockstars wherever we are on the internet. And if you do on YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get notifications every time we upload a video, which is every day, so you don't want to miss any uploads. But again, thanks again for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.